I didn't like Heated Rivalry. Braces for impact. Yes, you saw the thumbnail correctly. You're not hallucinating. I am a queer woman, a Canadian, who did not enjoy Heated Rivalry. I'm just gonna wait for the comments revoking my membership. And in this video, I want to talk about the fact that your story is not gonna be for everyone. Your character is not gonna be liked by everybody, and that's okay. I think that with queer media, we have gotten to a place where we can acknowledge this fact that we are not going to like every single piece of queer media. In case you are new here, hi, my name is Bridget. I am a queer writer and filmmaker from Canada. And on this channel, we talk about writing queer stories and all that comes along with that. In today's video, we are continuing our journey with the allegory of a coming-of-age story. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the stage where the supporting characters might not like the person that your main character is pursuing. Maybe they have a different opinion of them. And we're going to look at moving past other people's opinion and just acknowledging our own taste and our own opinions. We are going to have 3 parts as per usual. Part 1 is going to be about the fact that your characters aren't going to be for everybody. Part 2, we are going to look at your target audience and learning about who you're actually talking to. And part 3, we are going to look at actually building your characters. So we're going to circle back to our main theme of character building in this series. So let's get into it. There is this mentality in like self-development, I think, or self-love, where it's like you won't be for everybody. Remember the phrase, you could be the juiciest peach out there and someone doesn't like peaches. And I think that we can learn to bring this into queer media a bit more. I think that now in this day and age that we have a certain amount of queer media, that we have explored different topics, we can come to a place where we don't need to hold on quite so tight to every single piece of queer media in the fear that it will be taken away. Now, there is a lot of like stuff going on in the world right now, and there are certainly issues, but there's also, I think that when we go against each other and are like, you can't not like that show, it becomes a very gatekeeper-esque mentality, and that's something that can become quite harmful for the queer community and is something that will just create more division within the community. I don't think that this is the time for that. I don't think it's ever been the time for that. But especially when we have times of turmoil, when we have times of rights being taken away even more, it's important for us not to fight against each other in this way, and especially when it's not like hateful rhetoric that people are talking about, when it's like, I didn't like the show, it just wasn't for me. And so it's like, just people have different taste. And when you are writing your story, when you are working on your glorious characters, it's important to remember that your characters won't resonate with everybody. Your story won't connect with every single person in the queer community, and that's okay. It's not possible for it to resonate with everybody. I think there's also another quote that I don't know where it came from, is you can't, like, connecting with everyone isn't possible. I don't think it's a quote, but it's like, connecting with everybody isn't possible, so connect with like a smaller amount of people. That didn't really make sense, but you know what I mean. It's like niching down. Like when I was starting my pivot on this YouTube channel, I was pretty scared because I was niching down. I am specifically talking about writing queer stories, and that was really scary in the way that there's not really other people talking about writing queer stories in every single video. Like, it's not their main thing, and I was like, I want it to be my main thing because this is what I am very passionate about, and if it doesn't resonate with different people, then that's fine. I don't need to connect with every single person on the platform. I just need to connect with the people that I am aiming to connect with. So maybe that's you. Maybe you're a little subscriber. Maybe you're a little writer that is writing a queer story, and that's amazing. And that is important to know, that your story won't resonate with everyone. For me, as an asexual person, my flavor of asexuality I didn't vibe with Heated Rivalry because personally I found it too raunchy. Granted, I do watch Bridgerton, but the type of writing that was in Heated Rivalry, I just didn't vibe with, okay? It was just not my thing. And I am the person who is rewatching Heartstopper for like the 5th time now. So we all have our favorites. There's always gonna be someone who doesn't really like it. And maybe they were your target audience, but that's okay. Everybody's different. We're not all the same. It's all gonna be different depending on the person's experience in life and overall just their outlook and what they like to watch or read or listen to, etc. Writing characters and introducing them to your audience is like introducing two friends. You can know both of them pretty well, but you can't really know every intricacy of a person, and they might meet each other and they might really hit it off, but also they might not. It's like going on a blind date where it's like maybe the chemistry is there, maybe it's not. Maybe there's something in the other person that triggers them. Maybe there's something that the energy isn't right, and that's fine. That's the way things go. And forcing connection is how you stifle deep connection. So if you're like, I need this person to like it, then you're cutting off the connection that you have with your story. It's like you're just trying so hard for other people to like it that you've lost sight of the magic that you found in the story. Because really, you're writing the story for yourself. Usually, we are writing stories because we crave it. We want this story to exist. And sure, we want it to connect with other people, but at the same time, if it doesn't impact us on an emotional level, then it probably won't connect with anybody else out there. This is the part where I want you to think about what you and your target audience want, what you want to see in the media, and that will drive you forward. Like, what emotions do you want to experience in a queer story? What kind of characters do you crave to see? And just what kind of representation are you wanting overall? It is really powerful to see ourselves in books, in TV shows and movies. And so what would be the most impactful for you to see? And if you're like building an ensemble, what array of other experiences would be really powerful? And you can put in so many different things into your story that will hit different people in different ways. That's why people have like different favorite characters. They're like, I resonate with that person, and someone else resonates with someone completely different. So there's no right or wrong answer with who resonates with who. Now I have 2 questions for you to ask yourself for this section. Number 1, what kind of story are you craving? What kind of queer media are you craving? And number 2, what kind of queer media resonates with you the most when you watch it or read it? This is important because it's like you're studying yourself. We're going to get more into that later. Part 2, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who is it? Who's there? This is the part where we look into your target audience. I couldn't do the R for a second. We need to look into who you are talking to, specifics, what they want to see in the media, how you want to deliver it, and all that fun stuff. Usually, we are writing for our younger selves. We want to bring comfort to our inner child. We want all the things that we didn't get when we were younger. And we want to bring that to younger generations. This does not mean that your story has to be autobiographical. In fact, far from it. There are so many ways to bring in your own experience to your characters and keep them original. It's building up their backstory in a different way, like their family situation, and just like sprinkling in little parts of yourself. Maybe it's your own sexuality, maybe it's your gender identity, or just some experience that you had, and twisting it just enough to fit a different identity. There is so many ways to tap into emotion, and that is really what you're doing with this. You're taking an emotion that you felt as a younger person, or maybe even right now, and transferring it to a character and making it into a narrative instead of simply like a morsel of an emotion. It's fictionalizing it. You're fictionalizing your own experience. I don't know why I can't think of this word, but taking an emotion that you feel, maybe not the exact experience that you had with that emotion, but having the emotion and putting it in a different context and with a different character's backstory is a really fun way to do it. It's something I'm doing right now with one of my stories. And it's so interesting to take an emotion, an experience, and put it in a different context so that you can see it from the outside as well. Going back to our allegory, letting go of what other people think of your story is how you connect with your story. Because you can't really connect with something if you're scared of other people's judgment. You just need to dive right in and be like, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't really care what happens. I just want it to exist. We just want this to reach people. And that's just what it is. Now, let's compare Heated Rivalry and Heartstopper. As I mentioned before, one I like more than the other, but they also have very similar origin stories. Both stories one started as fan fiction. Yeah. Heated Rivalry started as fan fiction, and Heartstopper started as a webcomic. So they were both adaptations. Both were picked up by a streaming service, and both were not expected to do very well and then exploded upon release. And yet both of these stories are geared towards very different parts of the queer community and audiences at large. Heartstopper is very sweet, very wholesome, very like young love, and just the vibes are very cutesy and fun. Heated Rivalry is very raunchy, very steamy, and goes for a very different tone. And yet, they are both successes. There is space for both. There is no reason why both can't exist at the same time. It's not one or the other. We have broken out of the confines to a degree, and this is the result. And going off of this, just because something isn't made for you doesn't mean it has no value. This is something that I remind myself, especially when consuming more queer media, is that all queer media has its place in the media, and someone will resonate with it. With Heated Rivalry, I've seen articles that a hockey player literally came out as gay or bisexual, as queer, as a result of Heated Rivalry and the support of that show. And so it does have an amazing place in media and in people's lives. And Heartstopper equally has its place in people's lives. I think that every form of queer media has its role to play, and there's not like, we don't have to be like, it's one or the other, you have to pick. We don't have to pick. We don't. It's fine. Everything is good. Now, let's move on to the questions for this section. I have 3 questions this time. Number 1, what group in the queer community do you want to reach with your story? Number 2, is there a specific age range that you are speaking to? Heartstopper, very different age range from Heated Rivalry. Surprise, surprise. And number 3, how much spice are you planning to include? This kind of more goes into the like rating system. How spicy are we getting here? Now let's move on to part 3, where we are building the characters. We are circling back to our theme of character with this series. So let's dive into how we can do that from the things we have discussed. The main question is how you can write characters in a way that honors who you're talking to. After all, your characters are your vessel. They are how you convey your message of your story, and their character arc is how we, as the audience, learn things. The lesson that they learn is a lesson that the audience learns as well. Now, as I said in the previous section, it is important to note that not everything is written for you, but in addition, even if something is not like, you don't resonate with it, it can also be something that you enjoy. I really enjoyed the movie Bottoms because of the chaotic lesbian energy, and it was a really fun movie, but I wouldn't say that I resonate with PJ or Josie. I'm more of a Hazel girl myself, thank you. But it is a really fun movie. Bottoms is a story that brings something new, and your characters, the movie of Bottoms brings such a new chaotic energy of lesbian characters, and your story can do something similar, because through challenging stereotypes, as we talked about in the last video, we can break down what we want to see. We can look at who we're talking to, we can explore different portrayals of queerness that we have not seen before. This will connect with different people, and it may connect with people that we don't expect it to connect with, like me. One way that you can do this is by diving into your own taste. This is something that I find really fun because it's kind of like self-development in a way that you're just like diving into your own mind and your own backstory as you just kind of like analyze what your favorite shows are, what your favorite books are, and learn from what resonates with you, what is powerful to you, and deconstruct it in a way that you can take those puzzle pieces and put them back together in a different way. Maybe you take like a puzzle piece from one piece of media and a puzzle piece from another. Another allegory or metaphor that I have is the story pantry, where you're like taking ingredients from different stories that you've written. Those have already resonated with you, so why not use some old ones that you still like? The key here is looking into what you like and learning from it. You can't just like stare at what you like. Don't just like go and rewatch a ton of your favorite movies and just be like, I'm gonna go right now. You take those things and maybe you write like notes on your favorite movies or TV shows and work from that. Work from the techniques that the writers used in those stories and learn from them. Do your own deep dive. It's really fun. The most important thing is to get curious about your own views, your own preferences, and your own taste, because this will lead you to what you resonate with and what will work. In my own research recently, as I'm working on a little wholesome sapphic coming-of-age novel, I did come across like the lack of wholesome stories in TV shows and movies. And so I went over to books. And this is where I want to encourage you to keep an open mind with what kind of media you use in your research. There is a lot more sapphic content in books, a lot more diversity in books, because there's less resistance there. I think publishers are a little bit more eager for more content than Hollywood is, so the streaming service is a bit more discerning. It is important to keep an open mind about these things and learn from where you can, and just get curious about what you like, because that is the guiding light of what you want to do. And your story, again, won't be for everybody, but it will be for you. Before we wrap up, I want to reinforce that your characters don't come from nowhere. Oftentimes, our characters come from our own experience. They come from people we know. They come from characters that we've consumed before. And this is very useful. There is nothing wrong with like pulling from your real life, pulling from yourself, pulling from other characters. There's that famous book, Steal Like an Artist. So go steal. Don't actually steal, but steal from art. Don't steal art, steal from art. And using your own experience, there is nothing shameful about that. It's very powerful to take from your own experience and just fictionalize it. Now, I feel like I was rambling quite a lot, but I have 2 questions to ask you about this topic, and then we will wrap it up. Number 1, what did you consume growing up that has inspired your writing? I discovered this recently, that I like to get inspired from Jane Austen movies, so keep an open mind about what can inspire you. It can come from anywhere. And number 2, how can you bring your own experiences into your story? Okay, now we covered a fair amount today. Let's look at what we talked about. Now, mostly, we talked about the fact that your story doesn't have to be for everybody. Not everybody's gonna like it. Not everybody's gonna resonate, and that's okay. Queer people, not all the same. We all have different tastes, all different experiences. And then we talked about finding your target audience. You need to identify who you're talking to and what they want. And number 3, bring this in to your characters. Who are they? Where do they come from? And what parts of yourself can you put into them? What experiences that you've had or things that you've collected from other people, other media, can they have as well? That is everything I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't get too much hate in the comments, but I have a very exciting episode / video coming next week where I am interviewing where I'm chatting with a fellow YouTube person that graciously agreed to come on this channel. And I'm probably gonna post a reveal after this video comes out and hop on the premiere because I'm gonna be premiering this video. So you can play along with the little game that we're gonna do. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe and that like button. And I will catch you guys next week with the interview.